Bonjour Marie, ça va?
Bonjour.
Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you love teaching for CCE.
So I was born in Dijon, in Burgundy, and I came to New Zealand because I married a Kiwi. I really enjoy life in New Zealand. I've been here for 14 years, but I returned to France 2 years ago and I lived in France again. And it was a great experience because I can now compare our two cultures. I am very aware of what is different between being a Kiwi or being European in France. And I like to explain the difference in my classes. I think I love French language. I've studied literature, I like to write myself, and I'm really fond of language, French language of course. And also I feel like I can play a part in sharing my own passion for language with people here who really like France. There are a lot of people here in Auckland who like France and who would like to learn more about it, and so for me it's a pleasure.
So why is the intensive course such a great way to learn a language?
It is great because it's an immersion, total immersion in French. So it is like traveling, like going to France, but you're in Auckland. It's summer. So it's like a summer feeling, holiday feeling, and for 4 days you listen to French, you speak French, and you will watch films in French and play games in French. Yes.
So what sort of people come to your French classes?
A lot of people come to my classes because they prepare a trip. They're going to travel to France. But also people whose children married a French person and are getting ready for grandchildren. Also people who work in French businesses. We have a lot of French businesses now here in Auckland, and so people are confronted with French business partner or French business colleague, and it's really important to understand for them how to communicate, and also not only to translate word by word, but also understand how they behave and why. You know, for example, we say French people are rude, but do you know that French people don't smile to someone they don't know? We don't know that, and so I like to give a lot of explanation on the difference of culture.
So for some of the people who are enrolling in your French language class, it may have been some while since they've done some study. How do you teach so that you know they're really learning, but also make it fun at the same time?
So learning a language, it's like learning a song. We all learned songs when we were little, and how did we learn them? We learned them by repeating at school, the national anthem, everybody knows it. And learning a language is the same, you need to learn every single word. So everybody is different, and I try to include different activities to help every student repeating or writing or listening, or we learn very well with acting, touching objects, so I use cards, and I try to create that space during the class time, like people can learn during the class time, and I can also give them tools and techniques to learn at home and learn in a fun way again.
Now obviously the structure of the French language is very different to English, the way the sentences are constructed. So tell us a little bit about the way that and the methods you use to help people to learn that different structure and how they can put that into practice.
It's true that in New Zealand a lot of people didn't study grammar at school, and what I try to do is to teach what grammar is, and grammar is like a way of putting words together. it's actually very simple. It's nothing scary about. And it's like a puzzle. If you have a puzzle, you put a piece there and another piece there. And that's what I do. I use cards, and I like to use color codes. So for example, all the verbs are blue and all the subjects are red. So if you are visual and you're not much of an academic, or it doesn't matter, because you will pick it up by putting the cards at the right place. Or I use also PowerPoint presentation, and with the PowerPoint we can do collective exercises where I put an information and then a blank, and then everybody tries to find what goes into the blank. And I try also, because the objective of this course is to speak French. It's not to read or write, it's really to speak and communicate. I try to include those little grammar things into dialogues. And I write always these dialogues on the board or on a piece of paper, so nobody is ever in danger. You always know what you have to do, and you're never exposed, really. Right. But you will practice it and practice it over and over until it becomes familiar.
Right. So really, kind of what you're saying is that a lot of the time the people, they're just learning to speak phrases that, of course, they can use when they get to France straight away.
Yeah.
And there's all sorts of grammar kind of hidden away in there, which they don't even know they're learning.
Absolutely.
Yeah, fantastic.
And the objective is that when they are with French people or in France, they can present themselves, present their friends and family. They can talk about their work, what they like to do. And I even give them some hint about how to talk past and future, so they can always manage on a basic level.
Right.
And feel confident about opening the mouth, because we always freeze when we speak a new language. So I try to give them the tools so they don't freeze and know what to say.
So group learning and participant interaction within the class is obviously a really important part of the way you teach.
Absolutely. I really encourage people to go in groups to learn a language, because a group is, first there is a dynamic. You get to know the other people, especially in 4 days. At the end of the first day, everybody knows each other, and so you can have good laughs. And also you can practice your dialogues within the group. And you feel confident because you are familiar with the people, and everybody is allowed to make mistakes, and everybody will laugh about it. And so the group creates the opportunity of improvising your dialogues. Because if you are at home and you just repeat, I like to walk, j'aime marcher, you will just say it at home. But if you're with a group, you will have sometimes, I will ask you to get an information from other people. So you will have to go and ask people something, and you don't know how they will reply. So you have to improvise, then the reply to their reply. And that's where you learn best. Yeah. It's really when your brain is occupied with something to do and a dialogue to improvise, that's where you really fix the language.